In this video, I do a full UCAT under strict time conditions and I score 99th percentile in all 5 of the subtests, so make sure you watch and see carefully how I'm answering questions in all of the subtests to score highly. My name's Emil and we've finally made it to the end of our UCAT crash course series sponsored by MedEntry. All of the videos before this point have been leading up to this point where I do a full UCAT exam. Thank you all so much for supporting me and helping me during this series, and it's made the whole process so much more rewarding and a lot less draining. I'd like to give a special thank you to MedEntry for sponsoring this series and giving me access to their online platform to use in all of the videos. MedEntry is the UCAT preparation platform that I used when I was preparing for the UCAT in 2020, and I find that they have questions that are most similar to the actual test. They've just launched their new LMS platform, which has skills trainers, an interactive curriculum, an extensive question bank with over 1,000 questions, and over 20 mock exams for you to use to practice. So if you want to practice with the exam that I'll be using today, or if you want access to all of their amazing features, sign up using the link in the description box down below to get 15% off their online or platinum subscriptions. Okay, so I've got the MedEntry question bank up on the screen here. And just before I start the practice exam, I'd like to say thank you all so much for the support on this series. All of this wouldn't be possible without you guys, and I really appreciate all of the support, the nice comments, and all of you subscribing and liking the videos and supporting the channel. So with that said, let's just get started. I just have to say that I will actually have to make some cuts during the subtest just because my camera can only film for 30 minutes. So probably in between each subtest, I might have to make a quick cut. And if my battery runs out as well, I might have to make a cut there. But just before the exam starts, I'm gonna try focus. Oh, I've also got my iPad here so that you guys can see what I'm writing, especially in decision making and QR. Okay, so first passage is about a painting, seems alright. It is thought that the goldfinch was originally mounted rather than framed because large group, more lifelike, typical, and simple composition was highlighted by mounting. Okay. Life size changed goldfinch. Okay, that's about the origins. Unusual painting, so create the illusion of depth. Okay, so the viewpoint seems to be slightly below the bird, suggesting that it was intended to be mounted in an elevated position. Mounted to look realistic and may have been part of a larger assemblage. Okay, so it's allowed to look more lifelike. Cannot be inferred from the passage. Painting was atypical for the time it was created. Yes, so it was unusual. Goldfinch inspired further cultural works. Yes, prize novel. Goldfinches were used as a religious symbol. Did see this. Here it says, goldfinch was a popular pet. Was used in Italian Renaissance paintings as a symbol of Christian redemption. So that's not the time it was created though, because this was in the Dutch Golden Age. Yeah, because it's in the Dutch Golden Age. So that's this. Could be true based on the passage. Gunpowder explosion, that's here, 1965, probably not. Painting was rediscovered in 1854. So that was here. So it doesn't say exactly. Yeah, I'm thinking it's D. Yeah. Okay, Trompe-l'oeil paintings are yeah, so this was here in this last paragraph. Okay, I'll do this. This one seems alright. According to the passage, phase Greek proper refers to. Okay. So this is about after his death, during the Hellenic period, importance of Greece proper, territory of modern Greece. Direct result of the death of Alexander the Great. So after the death, the Seleucid Empire. So, yeah. According to which of the following least likely to be in part of the Achaean League? Okay, so I haven't read that yet. So, this is talking the consequences. Achaean League and Aetolian League. Okay. So you've got Corinth, Argos. So Sparta is in the other league, so it must be that. Greco-Bactrian Kingdom. So that was here. So, okay. Did not exist in the 1st century. Was not drew young and ambitious people. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's C. So, steady immigration, particularly of the young and ambitious. Yes, we're the Greco. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I don't think I'm going to read this one. Yeah, I might read this one. Andrew de Moray and William Wallace organised acts of rebellion against local English authorities. Emerged its first significant Scottish patriots. Okay. So there's nothing about them organising these against the local authorities, but I might come back to this after. Scottish army attacked the English as they were crossing the bridge. Okay. At the Battle of Stirling Bridge, northeast. Let them cross the bridge before attacking. So that would be false. After his victory, he restored Scotland's lost trade links with Hamburg and Lubeck. Win back overseas trade. Okay. Now had free access to all parts of Kingdom of Scotland, which had been recovered from Ross or True. Wallace's army caused English people to flee on these 3 occasions. Okay. Fleeing south. So there was one here, fleeing south here. I think there's only 2, so I'm just going to say can't tell, and this one. I haven't read anything about this, so I'm pretty sure it's can't tell as well, so I'm just going to go. Right. Alan Watts believed that Tao Te Ching was written by multiple authors. Ancient Chinese philosopher and writer. Reputed writer of Tao Te Ching. Okay. Consensus emerged amongst scholars of Tao's sayings by many hands, and then Alan Watts urged more caution, holding that this view was part of academic fashion. Okay. Doesn't say that he believed it was written. It wasn't, sorry. It was written by multiple authors, but he just said it was caution. That was a contemporary of Confucius, okay. He was said to be a contemporary, so it's can't tell. Yellow Emperor was a member of the royal household of Zhou. So, oldest text so far recovered was written on bamboo slips. Was a scholar who worked as a keeper of archives. to the works of the Yellow Emperor and other classics of the time. So, don't know if they're actually a member. Yeah. Lao Dan is known to be a court astrologer in the time of Confucius. So that was here. Court astrologer. So this was 4th century BC, so it's false. Which of the following roles did he not perform during his life? Okay. So yeah, he was a film actor. On the battlefield during World War II. Army and RAF. First enlisted in the Royal Air Force when he worked as an intelligence officer, so yeah. Espionage, so it must be British Marine. Best supported by the text. So I'll just keep reading from here. For the final few months, Lee himself was reluctant to discuss anything. So it's not A. This one could be true. So, fluent in several languages. That's not Y, so fought in different countries during World War II. So this is 1940, 1945, and then 1946. So yeah, it's probably C. How the author likely describe his life overall? Yeah, probably just from reading action-packed, because he does all of that stuff, yeah. Which of the following statements are best supported by text? Definitely people can surprise you. So it's like little-known facts and stuff like that. Okay. Which of the following is not submitted by registrants to the Barclay Marathons? Okay. 60 miles is a fun run. Full course is 100 miles. Trickster by nature. He said to himself, this is the person, yeah, this is the person, wait. Oh, I could do at least 100 miles, yeah. Limited to 40 runners and usually fills up the day of the registration opens. Complete an essay. So that's D. So they receive a letter of condolence. So it's not going to be what they give in. So it's not going to be C because I haven't read anything about that yet. Barry Barclay passed away at 70. But it doesn't say he ran it. Bring a license plate. Flannel shirt, so that was the answers for the previous one. Race bib number 1 is given to the person least likely to finish. So yes, they're judged to success and failure. Not supported. Yes, this is not supported. 7 times the length. Yes, that's true, because he ran, what, 8 miles? No one says that more participants can play the fun run. Which of the following best describes how the... Yeah, it definitely reflects the humorous character. This is about stars, I'm going to skip this one. According to the passage, the Federal Bridge Grossways formula is necessary because, okay, used in the United States to determine approximate maximum gross weight for a commercial motor vehicle. Formula is part of federal weight and size regulations. Prevent heavy vehicles from damaging roads and bridges, okay. Yeah, so determines the maximum weight the vehicle can be to protect driving surfaces. Interstate, commercial motor vehicles must stay on there. Intrastate, not regulated by a state. Okay, vehicles placarded under hazardous materials. Okay. Interstate is generally limited to a network of interstate highways, US highways, and then known as the, yeah, so it's A. According to the passage, which of the following vehicles would be classified as commercial motor vehicle? Right. Oops. Commercial motor vehicles are vehicles engaged in interstate commerce that are used to transport passengers or property. Vehicles with a gross vehicle weight of 5,000, 4,000, whatever. More than 8 passengers for compensation. I'm really not sure for this one. I'm just going to think it's C. Yeah, I'm probably not going to get this. Which of the following statements is best supported by the passage? Okay. I have around 4 passages left, I think. Last phase of the Bronze Age. Okay. Most prominent site was Mycenae. The Linear B offers the first written record. Is that? Head of this society was the king known as the Lennox. Okay. Not a characteristics of Mycenaean. Oh, I just read this. Use of linear asyllabic script. Yeah, because it's Linear B. Which of the following most likely the reason the Mycenaean civilization collapsed? Ran out of bronze, trading partners. Decentralized, okay. Perished with the collapse of the Bronze Age culture. Dark Ages, significant shifts. So that's for the Dark Ages, not the collapse. Various theories have been proposed. The Dorian invasion or activities connected to the Sea Peoples. Okay, yeah. Which of the following statements about Mycenaeans is the most likely to agree? Direct precursor. Mycenaean period became the historical, including the Trojan epic cycle. Yes, it's probably B. That's what I'm thinking. Right. I think I have 3 left. Critics prompted artists to reject art of the period of Stellar. Okay. They self-consciously did this as false. Decline in popularity after minimalism emerged and eventually disappeared. Denial of expression. Geometric works are perfectly and radically eschew. Plus, post-Sputnik era. Minimalist created work that was... Okay, tied narrative art. You can't tell that it declined in popularity before ideas of narrative and artist biography. So that was here. Removing suggestions, so that's true. Minimalism became popular in Russia, you can't tell. So there's nothing about the timing there. There's 2 sets left. Okay. Which of the following best describes items held in the storage facility? Okay. Cambridge alumni, low usage. 1 millionth item to take place. Became the first book. Built to store more than 4 million items. Shelving that measures 65 miles. Low usage material, so yeah, I think that's right. Oops. Taking only the cost of the building and assuming there's filter capacity. I'm not going to bother doing this. Let's just go this. Items can be removed from if redemand. I can check this one actually. What is it? 65 miles, 25% full. Yeah, that's true. So it's B. Which of the following statements can be inferred from the passage? Alright, so I'm gonna read more. The amount, it's here. So 17 million, 6 legal deposits. Valuable. Slowly becoming available. The aim is to make collections more accessible and current while allowing, yeah, so could be made more accessible. Yeah, that's true. Maybe we'll, I'll go back to that money one after. Sirius B was formerly a red giant star, but is now classified as a white dwarf star. Sirius B. Okay. Sirius appears bright because of its intrinsic luminosity and proximity to the solar system. System is between 200 and 300 million years old, composed of 2 bright bluish stars. Sirius B consumed its resources and became a red giant before shedding its outlaters. Okay, so that's true. White dwarf, yeah. Polynesians in the Pacific Ocean, haven't seen anything about this yet. Dog star reflects its prominence. Heliacal rising, flooding the night, dog days. Polynesians, the star-marked winter and was an important reference for the navigation. Yes. Visual apparent magnitude. I saw visual, so visual, absolute visual magnitude was here. Can't remember seeing visual. So I just go can't tell. Over the next 60,000 years, we'll move closer to Earth. Sirius A. Gradually moving closer to increase in brightness, but I don't see anything about turning into white dwarf star during this time. Okay, let's just review flagged. I'll try to do this one. Sorry. Taking into account only the cost of building the library storage facility, assuming its filter capacity, the cost of storing one book is approximately, okay, so filter capacity, so 17 million. What's the capacity? I'll build to store more than 4 million items, so divide by 4. £4.25. All right, we're done. Okay, so that went all right, I think. I'm just gonna restart my camera. And I'll also start the screen recording for the decision-making subtest. All right. Okay. Yeah, so I actually felt pretty good about that verbal reasoning subtest. I think it went really well, actually. So we'll see. Now I'll just move on and get ready for the decision-making subtest. Some chickens lay egg, some eggs are chicken eggs, all chicken eggs have nutrition. Chickens need nutrition to lay eggs. All chicken eggs are made by chicken, not necessarily. There is at least one chicken that does not lay eggs. Yes, that's true, because there's some chickens lay eggs. Chickens need eggs that have nutrition to lay eggs. Not true. It just says they need nutrition, not eggs that have nutrition. Of the chickens that lay eggs, those chickens lay chicken eggs. No, because they just say some eggs are chicken eggs. They don't say chickens lay chicken eggs. Something that gives chickens nutrition to lay eggs could be a chicken egg. Yeah, that's true. Adam, Barry, and Charlie, one player is this year's champion. All of the players graduated from university except for Charlie. No player is intelligent except for some of those who graduated from university. No player from City X can be a champion due to a drugs cheating scandal. Last year's champion was from City X. Okay. No player is intelligent except for some of those who graduated from university. So this could be no. Adam might not be intelligent. If Barry is this year's champion, he cannot be from City X. Yes. Yes. So no player from City X can be a champion. Charlie was a champion last year. Cannot be. Yes. Last year's champion was from City X. If Adam is not from City X, either Barry or Charlie. That's not true. If a university graduate is this year's champion, then Charlie must be from City X. Also not true. Doctors either love or hate being on call. All cardiothoracic surgeons sleep less than 6 hours a night. Most hate being on call. Most dermatologists sleep for more than 8 hours a night. All dermatologists love being on call. Some are also cardiothoracic surgeons. Danielle is a cardiothoracic surgeon, therefore she is also a dermatologist. Not true. They just say some are. Some dermatologists sleep less than 6 hours a night. Not true. There's nothing to say that they could. Actually, yes, this is true. Because some dermatologists are cardiothoracic surgeons and all of them sleep less than 6 hours a night. Some cardiothoracic surgeons love being on call. No. Yeah, I think it's no. Because some dermatologists... Actually, yes, that does mean yes. Because some cardiothoracic surgeons will be dermatologists, and all dermatologists love being on call. If a certain doctor sleeps more than 8 hours a night, but hates being on call, they must be a surgeon. No. Because all cardiothoracic surgeons sleep less than 6 hours a night. Make more errors due to... There's nothing about more errors. Some beetles are red. All things that are red are colourful. All beetles are red. No, because only some beetles are red. Some beetles are red and colourful. Yes. Some things that are red are colourful. No, because it's all things. All colourful things are red. No. At least one beetle is not red. Yes, that's true, because some beetles are red. Okay. I'll have to do some writing here. Hamilton, Michelle, James, and Orion stand in the line from tallest to shortest. One person is between Michelle and James. Orion is taller than Hamilton. James is adjacent to Hamilton. Michelle is adjacent to Orion. Okay, so I'm just going to write Orion, Hamilton. James is adjacent to Hamilton. Michelle is adjacent to Orion. So it could be Michelle here and Michelle here, or it could be James here and James here. But one person is between Michelle and James. So it has to be, yeah, so it has to be here. So it has to be here and here, or here and here. So then, yeah, Michelle is always taller than Hamilton. Okay. Ronnie, Tiara, Claire, and Christy compare the ages and favourite colours. The oldest person states that red is their favourite colour. The youngest person states that pink is their favourite colour. So you've got red, pink, oops. Tiana is the third oldest, so Tia does not like blue, so blue must be here. The other colour is... Ronnie and Claire are the two oldest. Ronnie and Claire are the two oldest, so it must be Christy, who likes pink. Eric, Megan, Jared, Ryan sitting around a circular table to eat dinner. Eric does not sit next to Megan. I'm gonna skip this one. Sit around a pentagonal table, each at one side of the table to play a variant of poker. Okay, I'll do this one. The winner of the game of person sit next to Humphrey and Ben. So I'll just do Pentagon. So winner, Humphrey, Ben. Just do that, and then we can do another winner, Humphrey, Ben. 2 seats clockwise from Simon. So Morgan has to be here. Morgan and Ben suggest this must be Simon. So Simon must have won the game of poker. Okay. Jason, Tyson, Albus, Corey. Soccer game in teams of 2, forming team A and team B. Each of them scores a different amount of goals, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay. Albus scored 3 goals consecutively, scored more than Corey overall. Team A won the match by 2 goals. Jason was in Team A and scored 2 goals. Tyson scored the first goal of the match only. Okay, so Tyson scored 1 goal. Jason scored 2 goals. Albus scored more than Corey, so it's 3 and 4. Which of the following must be correct? Corey scored one more goal than Jason did. It's true. Okay. Should universities penalise students for late submission of assignments in order to encourage professionalism? Need to develop the skill of meeting deadlines as it is very relevant in workplace. So yeah, that hits professionalism. Yes, this doesn't really hit professionalism. Option B. Yes, I'm thinking A is the most relevant. Should households be required to plant at least 1 tree in their backyard to improve community air quality? So community air quality is the big one there. So yeah, this is just inhabitants of the backyard, so not community. This isn't very specific. Tree will pose hazards to the household inhabitants and only improve air quality in the backyard as opposed to the whole community. Yeah, I think D is the most relevant to community air quality. Should fast food restaurants be mandated to provide nutritional information on the menu options? Yes. So it's not about unhealthy food. Yes, individuals have a right to make informed choices. Yes, I think it's this. Yeah. Should advertisements be banned from social media? This is not really about social media. Too much time already too reliant. Not really about advertising. Yeah, I think it's C. Bobby's, a fruit shop, sells a range of fruit, including apples and oranges. Apples are sold $2 each, or 5 apples for $8. Oranges are sold at $1.50 each, or 4 oranges for $5. Okay. Neighbouring Dimitri sells apples at $1.80 each. Lucy wants to buy 5 fruits from Bobby's. The cheapest price she could pay for the 5 fruits would be $8. So she could buy... Oh, no. Yeah, also you don't know whether there are other fruit that are cheaper. So yeah, it's no. Bobby's is more expensive than several other fruit shops in the area. No, don't know that. The quality of apples at Bobby's is superior. No, there's nothing about quality. Oranges at Dimitri's, there's nothing about making profit either. At Bobby's, it'll be cheaper for Lucy to buy 5 oranges than 4 apples. So 5 oranges would be $5 plus $1.50. So $6.50. 4 apples are going to be $8, so yes, it is cheaper. I think I'm doing really well for time, actually. A neighbourhood has certain restrictions on the types of houses that can be built. If a house is a single-storey house, area must be at least 200 metres. If the house is a double-storey house, it can be smaller than 200 metres, but at least 150 metres squared. No houses have more than 2 stories. Garden can only be present in a single-story house. It is 175 meters square in area. Must be a double-story house. Okay. If its area must be at least 200 meters. So, yes. It can be smaller than 200 meters, but at least 150. No houses have more than 2 stories. Yeah. Mark wants a house in this neighborhood, which is 250. It must have garden? No. Because it can only be present in a single-story house. Single-story houses are on average more expensive than double. Nothing about the price of these houses. All single-story houses have a greater area than all double-story houses in this neighborhood. No. Because if a house is a double-story house, it can be smaller, but it's not. It doesn't have to be. Claire would like to build a house that is 180 meters square in area. It cannot have a garden. Yes, because it cannot be a single-story house. I might skip this. Alice is a contestant on a television game show, presented with 4 boxes. 1 contains $100, 2 contain 50, 1 is empty. Alice to select a box and will receive the box's contents. Upon randomly selecting a box, Alex is more likely to win some money than no money at all. Yes, because 3 of the boxes have money. The chance of Alice winning exactly 50 is the same chance as her flipping heads on a fair coin. Yes, because 2 of the boxes contain 50. Jane is another contestant playing the same game. Alice has already chosen a box and it revealed it contains 50. Jane's chance of winning at least 50 is greater than Alice's was. No, because Alice had a 75% chance, and now she has a 66% chance. Brad is a host of the game show. No. Select few contestants of the game show are randomly selected from the audience. If audience members pay $50 to attend, on average, no, because there will be more audience members, or there could be more audience members than there are people picked from the audience. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably skip this one as well. A group of university students all study at least 1 of 4 science subjects. In order to satisfy the prerequisites for a certain subject X for the next semester, students must currently be studying at least 3 sciences. Okay. So this is just the amount of people who have 3 intersections. So you've got this 3, this 9, this 2, and this 11. So 11 plus 9, 20, 25 is what I've got so far. Yeah, 25. Okay. Just gonna restart my camera. Okay. A group of students was reading given a reading list of 5 books. Each of the students was asked to indicate which of the books they had read. Right. Based on the diagram, how many students had read Great Expectations, Moby Dick, and Jane Eyre, but not The Great Gatsby or Middlemarch? Okay, so Great Gatsby, Middlemarch is the triangle and the circle. Great Expectations is the lightning bolt. Moby Dick is this. Jane Eyre is the heart. So it's going to be this 35, 35, and yeah, it's just going to be this 35, I think. Because this isn't the 1 isn't in Jane Eyre. This is in Middlemarch. This is in Middlemarch. 37 is in both Middlemarch and Great Gatsby. Yeah, so it's 35. Since it's which of the following is true, I'm going to skip this. Peter wants to buy a new phone. There are 5 features he likes. He requires at least 3 to be present in a phone before you consider buying it. Which of the following phones would Peter consider? So 3 is going to be here and here. So this is water resistant front camera, long lasting battery, or long lasting battery, front camera, and 64 gigs of storage. So rear camera, no, not high definition display, water resistant front, yeah, that's D. Okay, group of primary school students were surveyed. Of the students surveyed, 20 could play a musical instrument and speak a second language, 9 spoke a second language. Okay, I'm gonna do a Venn diagram. Okay. Let's go instrument. Language, and what is it, sport? Okay, so 20 could play a musical instrument and speak a second language, 9 spoke a language and a second instrument, and played a sport but did not play an instrument, so that's 9. 4 could play, 4 could do all 3. 20 could play a musical instrument and speak a second language, so this is going to be, what, 16? 40 students in total could play a musical instrument. 7 students played a musical instrument as well as a sport, so that's 3 here. Okay. And then you have, what, 40 students in total could play a musical instrument. So then you have 40 minus 3 minus 16 minus 4, which gives you 17. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to skip this. I'm going to skip this. Family has 3 children, where each child has an equal chance of being a boy or girl. Jake knows the oldest child is a boy. States the probability family has 2 boys and 1 girl is a half. Yes, yes. Yes, since he knows the oldest child is a boy, then it's going to be A. Bag of 9 tokens. Each token has a single digit. Each token has a different digit. 0 is not considered a digit. All digits 1 to 9. May choose a token at random. Contains an odd number. She keeps the token. Darren chooses a token at random. Reveals it to be an even number before replacing the token. Same chance of choosing a token with an odd number as an even number. I always need to write these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just do it like that. 8, 9. So then takes an odd number and she takes it out. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So yes, half the tokens in the bag are odd. So then choosing internet plan for a new home. She wants to purchase a plan from Mello, who offers 2 plans. Customers plan A experience connection problems once every 2 months. Plan A costs $240 for 3 months. Plan B report experiencing 6 times a year. So these, yeah, interruptions are the same. $350 for 5 months. So we'll just do 350 divided by 5, because that times by 3, 210. So plan B costs less. So no, plan A is more expensive, yeah. Jared is purchasing this apartment. He's deciding between apartments. Both apartments have unreliable electricity and water supplies, which are equally weighted in his ultimate decision. Electricity outage is 0.4. Electricity outlet is 3/5 the likelihood of the same event. So that's going to be what? 0.4 times 3/5, 0.6, 2.4. The water to apartment B is stopped 2 nights out of 5. Oh, this is the same as 0.4. And then the water in A is stopped 3 nights out of 10. So the water in apartment A is less reliable than the electricity in apartment B. So he should pick apartment B. Yes. Oh wait, no. Yeah, so there's less chance for apartment B to have an electricity failure than a water stoppage in apartment A. Yes, that's true. 6 left. Got plenty of time, actually. Okay. Let's have a go at this one. Eric, Megan, Jared, and Ryan sit around a circular table. Okay, so we'll just do this. Eric does not sit next to Megan, so I'll just put Eric, and I'll put in the other seats. Jared does not sit next to Matt. Ryan does not sit next to Jared. Matt does not sit next to Eric. So we'll just go, oops. Oh, I'll scratch this, wait. Let's just do this. Let's do this. And then you have, so Eric, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So Matt does not sit next to Eric, so he must be here or here. Jared does not sit next to Matt, so Jared must be either here or here. Ryan does not sit next to Jared, so Ryan must be here or here. And then you had what? Megan, wait. This was Matt, sorry. This is Matt. Matt, you have Megan. Okay. Which of the following must be correct? Eric sits 2 seats clockwise. It's not going to be clockwise or anti-clockwise. Jared is directly between Megan and Eric. Yes. C. Okay. A company records their monetary inflows and outflows over the past 5 years. Profit is calculated by subtracting expenses from net revenues. Okay. Revenues are considered an inflow, and expenses are considered an outflow. More total inflows than outflows in 2018. So 32,000 plus 4,000, 36, 29, yes, it's true. Lowest ever profit in 2016. So we go 9,000, this is 8,000, this is 7,000, 10,000, 11,000, so yes. Highest total inflows of the company in the past 5 years is 3,000. No, because inflows includes revenue. Lowest profit of the company in the past 5 years is 7,000. Yes. Past 5 years, a company has made a net profit, but has had a net monetary outflow. Yeah, so they did make a net profit. What was the net profit? So I think I've got to calculate the net profit and then the difference between inflows and outflows. Yeah, so net profit was what? 8,000? No. 9,000 plus 8,000 plus 7,000 plus 10,000 plus 11,000. So 45,000. I'll write this down. 45,000. How much time do I have? 7 minutes. Then inflows and outflows, you have 3,000 minus 1,000 minus 4,000 minus 4,000. I typed it wrong, but yeah, it's definitely, this is definitely no, because the revenue is way more. Okay. Alright, so interest rates. Okay. Graph shows trends in interest rates in 5 of the many different areas of the economy. So I'm just going to check how many questions I have left. I have 4 left. Okay. So many different areas of the economy. So business, housing, BSW, average retail term cash deposit rate. Right. All interest rates in all interest rates in all areas of the economy have decreased from 1994 to 2019. So yeah, these all decreased. So yes, steep decline in interest rates in 2019 was probably due to the can't tell because you don't actually know if that's the case. There's an independence between that and the cash rate target. 3-month BBSW. Yes, so that's true because they follow each other very closely. Has more short-term little fluctuation as compared to business. Yes, true. The range of interest rates was greater in business than in housing. So highest in business, yes, they end at the same point, and then business is higher, is much, much higher. Okay. 3 highest selling genres of music online in the past week. Shapes represent the genre of music purchased in the customer's age category. Numbers represent the number of people who made purchases in each category. Okay. Which of the following statements is true? Okay. Rock music and classical music are the 2 most purchased categories. So you have rock and classical, which seems sort of right, but I'll check it later. Less than 20% of customers aged under 22 purchased music genres other than the 3 biggest selling genres. So less than 20% is going to be, so we'll have to add everything in this. So we'll do 32 plus 35 plus 34 plus 17 plus 3 plus 12 plus 13 plus 4. 150. And then 32 divided by 150 is 21%, so it's not less. Pop music was purchased by more customers under the age of 22 than customers over the age of 22. So pop music is this. So, alright, so you got 17 plus 34 plus 3 plus 4 is 58. And then you have 25 plus 2 plus, oh no, it's not going to be C. Number of customers who purchased rock and pop, but not classical, is greater than the number of purchased classical music and is under the age. Alright, so number of customers, rock and pop, so rock and pop. Rock and pop is here and here and here and here, but not classical, so that's 19. Classical music and under the age, wait, rock and pop, but not classical. So rock and pop. So 19 plus 17, that's 36. Classical and under the age of 22. Yeah, that seems right. 12, yeah, that's right. Okay, a smoothie shop sells 90 different types of smoothies. Total number of smoothies that use only yogurt and pineapple. Double the number of smoothies which use only yogurt and pineapples. The total number of smoothies which use equal to the number of recipes that use bananas and yogurt. So, stars, banana, rectangles, pineapples, and pentagon yogurt. So pentagon must be in the middle. And then what? Rectangles, pineapples. So yogurt or only use pineapples. Double the number of use. Yeah, so it's got to be 15, 15, 30. Double that. Only bananas or only pineapple. Only bananas, only pineapple. Bananas and yogurt, so B. This is my last question, but we'll see. Medical student interviews several patients in the day surgery unit of a hospital. K is the set of people who previously had knee surgery. S is the set of people who previously had shoulder surgery. A is the set of people ankle surgery. At least one person in this set is over 40 years of age. Alright. Some of the patients over the age of 40 had 2 previous surgeries. Z is the set of patients over 40 years of age. Okay. Okay. So ankle surgery must be at least intersecting with Z. Because at least one person in this set is over, yeah, so it has to be D. Okay, we're done. That was pretty good, actually. I'm just going to check some of the flagged answers. Okay, yeah, I got this one. Got this one. Got this one. Actually, yeah. Yeah. I think that went really well, actually. Yeah. Both of the subtests so far have been pretty good, I think, in my opinion. So I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. So moving on to quantitative reasoning now. Probably gonna have to restart my camera again. And we'll just relax before the subtest starts. So I'm going to skip this one. What just happened? Okay, skipped all of that. Okay, this one as well, huge. Skip that. Okay, Daniel owns multiple beehives. One day he decides to record them. Number of hives in hive 3 are a third of number of hives in hive 2. Number of hives in hive 2 are 70% of the hives in B5. 5 dozen bees in hive 5. Hive 1 has... I'm going to check if this is a set. Oh, it is. Alright, I'm going to do this. Hive 1 has 50% more bees than the average number of bees. Okay, hive 4 has 3 times the number of bees of the smallest hive. Okay, so I'm just going to write, do this, H1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we got 5 has 5 dozen, so that's 60. Number of bees in hive 2 is 70% of the bees in hive 5, so 60 times 0.7, 42. Hive 3, number of bees in hive 3, third of the number of divided by 3 is 14. So yeah, there's 14 bees in hive 3. What's the number of bees in hive 1 to the nearest 10? Okay, so hive 1 has 50% more bees, average number of bees between hive 2, 3, and 5. Okay, so 2, 3, and 5 is going to be 14 plus 14, 14 plus 60. Did that. Divide this by 3, multiply this by 1.5. So that's 60 to the nearest 10, so it's 60. Oops, I need to write that. What was it? Oops. So that was 60 or like 58. If Darren's bees produce an average, hive 4 has 3 times the number of bees in the smallest hive, so this is 42. If Darren's bees produce an average of 3 mils of honey per 4 bees, okay, so 58 plus 42 plus 14 plus 42 plus 60, so that divide by 4 times by 3, 162 in 2 days, so times 2, oops, times 2, 324. Looking to grow his bee population by across all 5 hives, how many bees would he aim to have? Okay, so 58 plus 42 plus 14 plus 42 plus 60, because that times by 1.15 times by 1.15 times by 1.15, 328, nearest whole number 329. Okay. So customers of various airlines who are satisfied with the in-flight service. Okay, which airline has the highest number of satisfied customers? I'm gonna have to multiply all this, so no. Okay. Height, weight, and shirt size. mean height of the 3 tallest students in feet. Okay, so tallest is going to be 135, 140, 130. Okay, so 135 plus 140 plus 130. So that divided by 3, 135. And 1 meter is 3.28 feet. So multiply by 3.28, divide by 100, 4.4 feet. What percentage of students have a shirt size larger than 5? So it's larger than 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6 divided by 9, 66%. I didn't need to do that. What's the mean weight of the students? Okay. Alright, so what? 28.4 plus 29.7 plus 25.3 plus. Okay, so that's all of that. Divide by 9, 29.29. Yep. Who's the tallest student in the class? You can't tell, because, yeah, it's volunteer. Okay. Alfred decided to record data about the children of his 2 neighbouring families for a school maths assignment. His data has been recorded in the table below. Mean age of the male children of either family. Okay. Alright, so 9 plus 8 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7. Because that says this. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Divide by 6. 6.16, that's 6.2. What will be the mean age of all of these children in 2015? So I can just add up all the, so it's 10 years. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kids. So I can just add 90 onto the average. So we got 9 plus 8 plus 6 plus 4 plus 7 plus 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 7. Is that plus 90? Is that divided by 9 plus 16? Mean height of these children. Okay. Height is going to be 135 plus 127. Because 10 divided by 9, 112.22 centimeters, but that's not this or this. So I'll do times by 3.281, because that divided by 100, 3.68. Yeah, so it's actually E. Okay. What rank would Alfred himself be, considering he weighs 24 kilograms? Okay, so we'll go, all right, we have 16, so 16, 1, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24 would be 6th. Oops. This is a standalone, I'll do it later. Percentage of students of different senior secondary high schools. Excellent marks in their final examinations. All students at all schools do each of these 5 subjects. Total number of students in 3 schools is 900. Ratio of the number of students is 3:1:2. Okay. Striped school C. Okay. How many students in school A? Okay. So 900 over 3 schools. So do 3 plus 1 plus 2 from the ratio. 900 divided by 6 is 150. So then you know A equals 450. 50. B is 150. C is 300. So therefore, how many students achieved excellent marks in mathematics? Then you have school A, 40%. So 0.4 times 0.4 times 450 is 180. Oh, that was standalone. Let's go into boats. Let's just see this. This is standalone. This is also standalone. Alright. This seems alright. Artists and quail, they have an average speed of that. Both boats travel for 1 hour and 15 minutes. What's the difference in the number of nautical miles traveled? So I can just do 62 minus 68, so 6 times 1.25, because 15 minutes is a quarter of an hour. Is that 7.5 nautical miles? Okay. Okay. Elemental composition of the Earth's crust. Okay. So percentage, simple element name. If the Earth's crust weighs 50 kilograms, what's the weight of silicon in the crust to the nearest 5 kilograms? Okay. Silicon, 28. So 50 times 0.28. Is that 14? So the nearest 5 is 15. Percentage of aluminum in the Earth's crust is equal to the combined percentages of what? So 8, just 5 and 3. Iron and sodium, yeah. Earth's inner core is composed of 90% iron by weight. The proportion of iron in the inner core is how many times the proportion of iron in the crust? So it's what, 90 divided by 5% from here, so 18 times. Has a median percentage by weight. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Calcium. Okay. This is also a set, so might as well do this. 15 minutes left. I feel like this is going well as well. Table below depicts increase in smartphone usage. To the nearest whole number, what was the school's population in 2010? So if 280 is 29% of the school, you just do 280 divided by 0.292. Which is 959. 2010, 65% of the school's smartphone users were females. However, in 2000, the number of female users was only 1/14 of this number. Okay. So 2010, 280 times 0.65, 182 divided by 14 gives you 13. So yeah, 12 males were smartphone users. Percentage increase in smartphone users between the years 2005 and 2020. All right. So you've got 182 minus 80 divided by 80 times by 100. It's 0.5, so round up. 1128%. 1995, how many students were not smartphone users? Okay, so you have 4 divided by 0.0041. That's how many students were in the school. Minus 4 from this number. Let's get 172. 14 unseen. Yeah, I have a lot of time. I'm doing well. It's good. Okay. The density of an object can often be used to help identify it. Density is defined as the ratio of mass, the substance, to its volume. Okay. Density equals mass times volume. The object has a shape such as a block or cube. Length times width. Yeah. Right. What's the density of sample B? So they say density is mass divided by volume. So you got volume is 2 times 5 times 3. 120 divided by 30 is 4. Suppose sample A would be cut into 2 unevenly sized and shaped pieces. What would be true of the density of the 2 new small pieces? The density wouldn't change. Yeah, it wouldn't change. Yeah. When a balloon is heated, its volume doubles. So if volume doubles, it's going to halve the density. What is the mass of sample C? So if density is mass divided by volume, you have volume and density. So mass is going to be density times volume. So 40. Okay. So an international online luxury designer consignment store has changed its consignment fees the last 3 years. Consignment fee is calculated as a percentage of the price the item was sold for at the consignment store. The consignment fee is calculated the price the item was sold for at the consignment store. Oh, right. The following table represents the original consignment fee and the new consignment fees. Okay. Average number of clients consigning. Okay. Percentage change in the number of clients between 2019 and 2020. All right. Oh, okay. I have to add this up. Might just, I don't know. Okay. So 487 plus 16,770 plus 2486 plus 18,736 plus 5. Because that divide by, oh no, sorry. So we got 71836. Oops. And then you have 10,225 plus 15,825 plus 20. 724 72853 minus 71836 divided by 71836 times by 100. 1.4% increase. Okay, percentage increase. Good thing I wrote it down actually. Percentage increase total number of clients. So you got 8,770 plus 11,374 plus 4, 3 plus 18 plus 67 plus 4, 8, 4, 6. So it decreases 5,8,020. Okay, minus 72853. Because that divided by 72853. Oh, times by 100. I think I accidentally, yeah, pretty sure I accidentally added an extra 0. Okay. Client attempted to sell her handbag on the consignment site with no luck. She proceeded to re-attempt to sell her bag. Percentage change in the consignment fee, 2021 compared to 2019. Okay. So if she had sold it in 2019, it would be 30% of that. So 6895 times 0.3, 2068.5. And then in 2021, it became 50%. So 5995 times 0.5. 2997.5. So minus 2068.5. So that divided by 2068.5, which is a 45% increase. Yes. 35% increase in the number of clients consigning. Yeah, it's so good that we wrote it down. 36 times what? 71836 times 1.35. 96,978. Yep. Okay. Table shows the percentage of customers of various airlines who are satisfied with their in-flight service. Yeah. Highest number of yeah, I remember this. Okay. So, Jetline. Just looking at it, approximately it will be Jetline, probably Streamliner or Cool Wings. So we got 599 times 0.87. Let's write this somewhere else. So we got 521.13. Wait. Highest number, yeah. So 3 times 0.84, 514.92, and 624 times 0.81 is 505.44. Alright, so yeah, it's definitely going to be Jetline, I think. 40% of all satisfied airline customers spend at least $5. Which of the following is close to the minimum total amount of money made by the 5 airlines from satisfied customers? Okay. So let's calculate Air King. So 376 times 0.77. So what, this was 289.52 and 398 times 0.96, 382. Okay, so we just add all of these numbers together, plus 289.52 plus 505.44 plus 514 plus 92 plus 521.13 equals that times by 0.4 equals that times by 5. It's 4,400. Jetline, Cyberfly, and third airline had Jetline, Cyberfly, and in 2018. Alright, so we can calculate how many customers Speedsaw had. So what, 1529 minus 599 minus 398. So that will be what? 532. So 532. Between them, they had 1390 satisfied customers. So we had what? Okay, 1390 minus 521 from before, and minus 382, because that. So that's the amount of satisfied customers divided by 532. 9154. Okay. Streamliner and Jetliner both had satisfaction rates of 85% in 2017. How many satisfied customers did they have in total? Okay. So, Streamliner had 38 more customers. Yeah, so you had 613 plus 38 equals that, times 0.85 gives you 553. Then you have Jetline 599 minus 53 times by 0.85 is that, plus 553 equals 1017. Perfect. All right. There are proposals to increase the number of seats to 300 seats. So wait. Alright. If the number of seats for the new parliament will be based on the proportion, how many seats would be held by Republicans or Socialists in the new parliament? Alright. So Republicans and Socialists. So 66 plus 8 is 74. Divided by 200. 37% times by 300. 111. Okay. Main company has a new offer for new customers. Alright. $20 bet is placed, outcome decided. Free $8 place can be placed. If not, these $8 are not included in the winnings. X is a proportional win. Y is a proportion of the stake. Winning gambler receives both the winning value and the stake back. If $30 bet was placed on odds 2 to 1, total winnings would equal. Alright. Sonny places $20 bet and loses. Places free $8 bet on odds of 7 to 8. He wins the bet. Alright. So. $7 to 8 means he wins $7 and the $8. So he loses. So he's already lost $20. He wins back 15, so he loses 5, so it's 20. That'll be 25%. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Doing quite well for time, actually. Let's just have a look. I feel like I answered everything pretty certainly. Just have a look at all the questions. Yeah, I think that subtest went well, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, honestly, all 3 of the subtests have gone pretty well so far, so that's really good. Okay. All right. Okay. Just gonna restart my camera again. I don't think I'll need my iPad anymore as well. Okay. So with this one, I see shapes and colored shapes. So I'm thinking position immediately. Looking for, so there's an arrow in every box. There's a rectangle in every box. Circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle. Yes, there's a circle and triangle in every box. There's a heart in every box as well. And there's a square in every box. Okay, so all the shapes are in every box. Okay. So an arrow's pointing up. Yeah, so I see in these ones, when the arrow's pointing up, there's more shaded shapes than... Actually, yeah, there's more shaded shapes outside of the arrow. And then when the arrow's pointing down, there's less shaded shapes outside of the arrow. And then with this, when the arrow's pointing down, there's more black shapes. Up, less black shapes. So this is down, more black shapes, probably set B. Down, less black shapes, set A. Down, less black shapes, set A. Up, less black shapes, set B. Up more, set A. Yeah. Okay. This one, floating shapes. Again, I'm thinking position. This colored as well. Alright. So, circle in every box. There's a square. There's a square in, oh no, there's no square in every box. So we'll just look at the circle and triangle. Yeah, so when the circle is black, the triangles are white. Circle's white, triangles are black. Doesn't seem to be anything with position. Yeah, because, yeah, all right. And then here you got black circle, black triangle, yeah. This is neither, set A, neither, set B, set A, okay. This one I'm also thinking position. maybe number of sides. 1, 2, 3, 7, 12, 5, 6, 12, 12 here, only 10 here. I'm just gonna skip this. Okay, these ones, the white arrows pointing left all turn black, and the black arrows change color and turn the opposite way. So white arrows all turn black. So it has to be C or D, and then the arrows need to turn the opposite way. So C. Okay, let's follow. So it seems to go, following this one, goes one corner, then moves 2 corners, then moves 3 corners. Yeah. So then it'll move in the 4 corners and move in the same position. And this one goes up, down, 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 up. So probably up again. I'm thinking it's probably C. I'm not sure whether it's C or B, but yeah. Okay. This one, the middle shape moves out again and again. So then in this one, the square is going to be the outside shape, C. Here, the black square. So then on the diagonal, it turns into triangles. These two stay the same. Then these turn into circles. So then it'll probably be these turn into squares, these two turn into things. Yes, I think it's A. All right. I'm just gonna skip this one. Okay, this one immediately I'm thinking intersections. So what? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. Cool. This you got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep. And then there might be a secondary pattern, but I think I'll just go with this for now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, set B, 1, 2, 3, set B, 1, neither, 1, 2, set A, 1, 2, 3, set B. Okay. This one thinking intersections again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So probably not intersections. Okay, I'm not so sure about this one, so I'll just go A. Okay, let's think about this one. This one I'm thinking position, so, and color. So you got this one. You have 3 circles inside. Circles inside. Don't really see this one yet. Yeah, I'm just gonna flag and skip this one. Okay, so this one I'm thinking position straight away. So there's a triangle in every box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there isn't necessarily a rectangle in every box, but everything else is there. Yeah, so the triangle is always above the square. And here you've got the square is always above the triangle. Yes, nice. Okay. So A, neither. Set A, set B, set A. Okay. Okay, this one. This one I'm thinking color or number of shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah, so in every box there is 2 black shapes, 2 striped shapes, and then 4 of these white ones. In set B there's 2, 4. So it's the same in set B actually. In set A, all the black ones are the same shape. In set B, they're different. And in set A, they're always next to each other. Set A, they're next to each other. Yes. And then they can, the striped ones can be together. Yeah. And then in this one, the white ones are always the same shape, it seems. Yes. All right, we'll go with that. Set A. So it could be this or this. Maybe it's that the stripes always have an even number of sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think so. Each of the following belongs to set A, so it's probably going to be B or C. I think it's going to be. Oh yeah, so it's probably the white shapes have an odd number of sides. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So it's going to be B. Set B, you've got the striped ones have even number of sides. The white ones have an odd number of sides. The striped ones are always next to each other. So it's going to be this or this. I think it's going to be this. Yeah. Set B, always together. Yeah, so I think it's C. Yeah. Okay. Set A, it's going to be A. Alright. This one I'm thinking position again. So look, corners. Yep, so the circles are always in the corners. Or they're like two corners together. So that'd be, it's two triangles in the corners. I don't know if there's anything else, but I'm just gonna go with that. Set A. And they're always the same color as well, yeah. Okay. Neither. Set B. Set B. Alright, got 6 we haven't done. Have a look at that. Wait, there was some I flagged as well, actually. So I'll just look at the review flagged. Okay. Yeah, I'm really not sure for this one. So I'm just going to select A and move on. Right. So this one, you have the whole shape turns sideways. Square and the triangle switch. Triangle goes black. Square and pentagon switch. And the square goes black. So then you turn it. And then triangle and square should switch. Square should go black. Hexagon should go black and should be in bottom. So it should be like this. Wait, no. Should be like, oh, and it gains a side. This gains a side as well. So yes, so we'll be C. I didn't get this one either. Some of these ones seem kind of easy, but I'm not really sure. I'm not sure I went with that one. I feel like I missed quite a few patterns, but it's all right. Okay, last subtest, situational judgment on the home stretch, so that feels good. Okay, I'm gonna restart my camera again. Okay. I might have to change the battery on my camera during this subtest, but if that happens, that's all right. We'll see what happens. Jeremy, a dental student, is taking part in a clinical skills tutorial. The students are practicing a procedure on a model and are being supervised by a tutor. Halfway through the tutorial, Jeremy overhears his friend making loud derogatory remarks to her class partner. Jeremy knows this is very uncharacteristic, who's normally polite and respectful. Okay. So, how important is it to take into account that her behaviour is uncharacteristic? So I'd say this is on the not important side because she has made derogatory remarks and that's a bad thing. But you might give it some consideration just because therefore it might mean that, you know, you might be a little bit kinder to her when you approach her. I don't know what's... Okay. The tutor has not heard Cheryl's comments. That's not important at all. Cheryl's partner does not seem upset. I think this one is also probably not important at all because you should still bring it up because it's derogatory remarks and it's usually not acceptable. That's very important that her comments are derogatory because that's the main consideration in this scenario. Tanya, a medical student, is shadowing a junior doctor. Nurse has asked Callum to update a patient's relatives on their treatment. Callum reviews the patient file. He tells Tanya that the patient has a complex medical condition and is taking experimental treatment that he's not familiar with. He goes to see the family, provides an update and leaves the room. The family seems confused and upset and feels the information was unclear. That he's not familiar with the experimental treatment. So I'd say this is on the not important side. I'd say this is not important at all because he should still be able to inform the patient's family. She feels the information provided by Callum was unclear. Yeah, this is definitely important. Yeah, I think this is on the important side. I don't think it's very important because it's more important that like the family gets to understand what's happened. The family seem confused. This is very important. Okay, Sean and Jason are dental students. Assignment forms an important part of the assessment, contributes significantly to the student's overall mark. Sean does not know Jason well, and a couple of weeks after commencing, Sean notices that Jason seems to be taking a long time to complete his allocated tasks. Jason tells Sean that he has a learning disability. Jason does not want to reveal his diagnosis to anyone. So I'd say that he doesn't want to reveal his diagnosis. This is probably on the, this is definitely on the important side. I think it's B because it's still important that he gets his work done. Completion of the research project is being negatively, yeah, that's very important. The research project is an important part of assessment for the year, yeah, that's very important. Actually, so I think this is somewhat important. Because it's also important that he is like kind to Jason when dealing with this issue. Francine is working in a busy hospital. One of her patients has a severe heart failure. The family has requested that he be moved to a single room so they can have some privacy. Mrs. Jenkins is refusing to move as she does not like being in a ward with other patients. Francine is aware that Mrs. Jensen's daughter is a lawyer. So yes, it's very important that his family have a right to privacy. It's not important at all that her daughter is a lawyer. The reason why she wishes to remain in a single room is important. The reason it's not very important is because it's also important to consider, in my opinion, why Mr. Ho needs to move out of the room as well, and weighing those things up. Another single room is unlikely to become available soon. So I think this is probably B or C. And I think it is, I'm actually really not sure with this one. So I think it's C. Just because she should probably still deal with the situation. Yeah, I'm going to think C. Jerry's a medical student working in hospital. He's helping care for a patient who's recently undergone surgery. The nurse is not using usual hygiene procedures when caring for the patient. She has changed the dressing gown without wearing gloves and did not use hand sanitizer. Okay, how important is it that the patient might become anxious if they notice that she's not following hygiene procedures? That's important, but it's not important as the patient's safety, which is why it's not A. It's the responsibility of the infection control team to enforce hygiene. Yeah, this is not important at all because she still has to maintain hygiene procedures. Junior nurses may follow Naomi's example and fail to follow. Yeah, that's very important. Naomi's a senior nurse with many years. That's not important because she's still breaching an important part of practice. Brett, a junior doctor, is working in a hospital on a weekend, covering several wards. He's contacted by a nurse who asked him to speak to the relatives. Mr. Brow has been informed of the diagnosis, but his relatives want to speak to a doctor about the diagnosis. Brett does not know Mr. Brow well, has not been involved in his care. Staff who normally care for Mr. Brow are not working on the weekend. Okay. The risk of providing Mr. Brow's relatives with inaccurate information. Yes, that's definitely very important because it's important that he provides correct information. Potential conflict with the nurse. This is not important at all, I'd say, because what matters is the patient's safety. The distress that could be caused, yeah, that's very important. Yeah, that's very important. Mr. Brow is right, this is also very important. It's probably the main consideration. Kyun, a medical student, is observing two other medical students. Holly attempts to assist Ben and accidentally knocks a piece of equipment from his hands. Ben swears at Holly. Holly appears shocked by his language but does not respond to it and continues to assist with the procedure. She needs to decide whether to raise her concerns about Ben's behaviour. How important is it to take into account the reason why Holly did not respond? I think this is not that important because he still swore at Holly, so it is something that she should bring up, but it's probably minor importance because it does mean that there might be a reason as to why, and she might want to be more careful. The disruption that might cause the procedure, very important. Patient safety is always first. Medical students are entitled to work in a respectful environment, also very important. Ben appears to be under pressure. This I'd say is of minor importance because he still did something bad, so it still needs to be brought up. Ryan and Sam are dental students. He recently received a warning letter stating that his attendance at compulsory pathology sessions has been lower than the required. The letter states he must increase his attendance, otherwise he will receive another warning letter. If he fails to comply, his place in the course might be jeopardized. Okay. Pathology sessions are important. If you don't attend them, you'll be missing out on valuable learning. Yeah, that's very appropriate. Suggest you speak with our tutor about why you don't find the special sessions useful. I'd say this is... I think this is B because it makes sense for him to talk to the tutor, but he should probably deal with this at the level of Sam and Ryan. This, again, I'm thinking is probably B or C. I'm thinking it's C because it's unnecessary to of course, be very hostile about it before and then tell the tutor. So we'll see. Emil and Laura are junior dentists. He states that he's recently been told that his clinical skills are not up to the required standard. And he's falling asleep while completing paperwork. You seem very tired. I'm concerned about you. Yeah, that's very appropriate because it just invites him to talk about his stuff. Why don't you speak with your supervisor to see if you can improve your clinical skills? Yeah, I think that's very appropriate as well. I don't think it's a good idea to be working so many extra hours. It's not healthy. I think this is B. It's definitely on the appropriate side, but I think it's B because it doesn't really offer a solution and it's not that empathetic. You'll become a risk to patients. I think this is A or B again. I'm not too sure about this because it's a bit... I think it gets the main point across, which is that it's a big risk. So yeah, I think it is A, very appropriate. Clinical director has asked to meet Ashley to share feedback. During the meeting, the director states that Ashley's colleagues believe her professional conduct requires improvement. The director shares specific feedback and offers to discuss the areas in greater detail. She's surprised as she feels she's worked well within the team. I believe the opinions, that's definitely not appropriate. You should always accept feedback. Perhaps other members misunderstand my behavior, also not appropriate. So yeah, that's discussing solutions is good. Meg is a junior doctor who's supervising a medical student. She allocates several clinical tasks. At the end of the day, she's made several errors, informs of the errors, asks her not to complete any more tasks, observing how the team functions so she can gain a better idea. She's criticized by the senior doctor for not being more actively involved. Apologize and ask if there's any way to help. Yeah, that's appropriate. Remind her that she was making errors, so it would have been unsafe for her to complete the clinical task. That's inappropriate. She should deal with the issue. And then it's appropriate to talk to the doctor, yeah, for sure. Megan is observing a senior doctor perform a minor procedure, taking blood thinning medication. The senior doctor has prepared all of the required equipment. She reviewed Mr. Say's blood test results, and the results showed that he was at a risk of increased bleeding. She's unsure whether it poses a significant risk. Inform the senior doctor in front of Mr. Say of the blood results. I think this is appropriate because the patient's safety is at risk, but it's not ideal because you would probably want to do it in private. Yes, this is the perfect way to deal with it. This is very inappropriate because it could put patient safety at risk. Jennifer, a dental student, is undertaking placement in a dental clinic. She's been asked to interview patients, ordered in terms of priority, taking into account the urgency of the case. Ask Jennifer to take a file which is ordered as low priority, stating that the patient is a relative of the supervising dentist. Take the lower priority file. So that's definitely very inappropriate because you should always just follow the urgency because someone might need a procedure immediately. Inform the nurse that she's been advised to see patients. Or yeah, that's very appropriate. Ask Yasmin to speak to the supervising dentist. This is probably on the inappropriate side. Don't think it's awful because it might not make the situation worse, but it does waste this dentist's time, I think. Okay. Joel, a university student, is finding a particular coursework subject to be challenging. He feels the lecturer has poor teaching skills and is unapproachable. He finds it consistently difficult to understand the lecturer, and then he once tried to speak with the lecturer and felt dismissed. Okay. Arrange to meet the lecturer to discuss his concerns. Ask the other students to accompany him. I think this is appropriate, but not ideal, because it's probably not best for the other students to accompany him. Ignore the situation and invest more time in order to increase. This is very inappropriate, because it's never a good solution to just work harder. Speak with a university counsellor, that's very appropriate. Becky is speaking with a medical student colleague. Becky tells Andrew that she has just received her end of rotation assessment. She tells Andrew that her teamwork skills were rated poorly and is disappointed. She says she never got along with one of the senior nurses. Feels that she has good teamwork skills. Suggests that Becky ignores the feedback, so that's very inappropriate. She should definitely always take on feedback. Advise Becky to ask her clinical supervisor if the senior nurse rated her teamwork skills. I think this is probably on the side of inappropriateness, because it's specific to the senior nurse, and then it doesn't really do much to accept the feedback that's been given. Inform her that she should speak to them herself to obtain feedback on the teamwork skills. I think this is appropriate because it's talking to all of them. Townsend has been in a hospital for the past week, due to be discharged home. He's very keen to go home, and he has 2 daughters. One of the daughters says she's unhappy with the discharge. So explaining to him that she doesn't want him to be discharged home, I think that's on the side of inappropriate. I think it's B or C. I think it's inappropriate because it's ultimately Mr. Townsend's decision and the clinical team's decision. Yes, so I think this is the best solution, to contact her and tell her it's important that he decides. I've got to change my battery. I'll be back. Okay, new battery has been put in the camera. And I forgot to put in my mic before, but it's all good. Okay. So I think this is ultimately just definitely the best situation, to contact her and explain that it's the patient's right to decide whether he's discharged. Continue with the current arrangement. I think this is appropriate but not ideal, because you should still deal with that conflict. Ask Anne if she has any concerns about Mr. Townsend being discharged home. I think this is very appropriate, because it asks the other daughter what she thinks about the situation. Explain to Catherine that she and Anne need to discuss the issue between them. I think this is definitely B or C. I think it's appropriate, because overall it does make her discuss her concerns, but it also means that Anne can talk about it and also explain her side of the story. Ask Mr. Townsend if he feels he's able to cope at home. I think this is very appropriate. Angelique and Connor are medical students who are working a ward. Both of them hope to one day work as eye specialists. Angelique expressed this interest to her supervisor and asked if there were research projects in the field. A few weeks into the rotation, Connor tells Angelique that Dr. Curry invited him to be part of an important research project relating to eye disorders. Asked Dr. Curry why the research project was offered to Connor. So I think this is inappropriate, because it comes off as a bit confrontational, and it doesn't really explain why yeah, it doesn't really do anything for a situation. So I think it's inappropriate, but it's not awful because it asks a little bit. Mention the research project, ask if she could also be involved. That would be, I think, very appropriate, because then she can probably get involved without having to like worry too much about the issues. Reiterate to Dr. Curry her interest in the research project. I think that's very appropriate as well. Casey is shadowing a senior doctor. They're seeing a patient that they interviewed earlier that day. He's elderly and frail, but able to communicate and make decisions. Senior doctor informs that he'll need several procedures. When Casey interviewed him, he expressed to her his desire to avoid procedures, instead focus on quality of life. Okay. Mr. Ravindran does not mention this to the senior doctor. While in the room, informed the senior doctor that he previously said he wanted to avoid procedures. And this is appropriate because it works in the patient's best interest, but it's not ideal because like the patient should theoretically, you should ask the patient about it instead of doing this. After leaving the room, mentioned that they expressed a desire to not undergo procedures. That's appropriate, but again, doesn't involve the patient. While in the room, I think this is very appropriate because then he can talk about whether he wants to or not. Speak to the senior doctor after leaving the room, ask if the procedures are necessary. I think this is, overall, I think it's B or C, but I think it's overall inappropriate because it doesn't deal with the situation at the time. Ravi is approached by his friend Johnny, who's studying the same degree. Ravi was previously successful in obtaining work experience. Johnny's planning to apply for the same organization. When Ravi reviews the letter, he's surprised to see that Johnny has copied some elements very closely. Okay. Inform him that he should not have copied his application. Yeah, that's true. Offer to assist in creating a letter. Yeah, that's very appropriate. Hamish and Caroline are due to doctors. He received a speeding ticket from the police for driving 15 kilometers over the speed limit. Hamish says that he is struggling financially, and to avoid having to pay a fine, he told the police that he was on call and driving to a hospital to deal with an emergency. So I think this is definitely inappropriate because he has the right to be confidential, or he has the right to his privacy. I think it's most appropriate to advise him to tell the truth. Nicole helped to care for a patient during a brief admission to the hospital. Following week, Nicole receives a message thanking her for her care. Nicole also received a friend request from Alex on social media. Okay. Ignore the message and friend request. Respond to the message. Decline the friend request and explain, yeah, so this is definitely most appropriate. And then I think responding to the message is really bad because you shouldn't respond. Alison is working in a general practice who has long-standing diabetes, which has been difficult to control. Works in the pharmaceutical industry. He's become aware of a new medication that's helpful. He can show Alison the research, and then he asks Alison to prescribe the medication. So yeah, I think it's most appropriate that she does some more research, and it's probably least appropriate to just prescribe it because she doesn't know the dangers of that medication. Okay, Blake is leading a team of 4 students. Notice that one of the members is consistently rude and abrasive, and it's impacting the group's ability. She's always polite and respectful when talking to the tutor, and Blake raises the matter with the tutor who dismisses the complaint. So I think speaking to other members is the worst thing to do, and then speaking to her directly is probably the best because it deals with the issue at the level. Okay. So we just finished the whole UCAT. Honestly, I'm quite happy with how that went. Probably submit my answers now, and we'll see how we went. Okay, so we did really, really well on this subtest actually. So I'm really happy with this score. Yeah, and that's great. So yeah, I thought throughout the subtest that most of the subtests went pretty well. I was really happy with how I went with most of the subtests. I thought abstract reasoning would have been much worse, but it seems that a lot of other people found those patterns quite hard as well. So I'm really happy with this overall. Keep in mind with this score also that I'm 2 years into medical school and I've been tutoring UCAT for like 2 years. I've done a series of videos on the UCAT already, so I have a lot of practice, way more than anyone else would probably have. So that's probably why I'm able to do really well. So that's officially the end of my UCAT crash course series. It's a weird feeling because I've spent so long on the series and it's pretty weird to see it gone. It's kind of sad in a way, but not really. But as usual with this, before the video ends, I'll show you all the answers to the questions that I got wrong, and then you can have a look at the answers and the explanations and see how I got them wrong and also understand why the answer is what it is. As always, I'd like to thank you guys so much for your support on the series. It's been a long journey, but it's been helped by the support and nice comments that you guys have left. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe to stay tuned for any of my new content coming out. Thank you all so much for watching. This is the end of the UCAT crash course, and as I said before, it's a little bit sad to see it go, but I hope you guys have found it helpful, and I wish you all the very best for your UCATs, and I hope that you can do extremely well.